Assalamu alaikum. So I'm again here with another question, which I hear that over here that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, God is very merciful, especially merciful. Then what is it about all about the hellfire itself? So uh, I want to everybody to just imagine and understand this thing that if there was only reward and only the positive things, you have to realize that Quran is meant, in fact, for whole humanity. It's not meant for one type of people or other type of people. But I know any one of you who has gone to any education, any school, you know that there are students not looking uh, just pass. They want to ace their exam. They want to get the best of the best. But then there are students whose only motivation is that they just don't want to fail. So if in any academic center, if there was no fear of failing or staying behind, it's quite possible the people who are in fact trying to be the best also would not put as much of the effort, but it also will leave behind quite a few of the students who were just going to study because they had this fear that they were going to fail. This is a human psychology. You have to realize this thing that our Creator has created us differently. We're not the same people. Our needs and our incentives are different as well. Just like you see it in a regular class, not all of those like students around you are exactly motivated by the same thing. Similarly, we are not motivated in our life the same way. So it's as simple as this that where we have this the reward seeking to go into the paradise. There's also the fear of punishment, and not everybody may feel like they need it. They're just happy to just be going to the paradise. In fact, in Quran it says that the the best of the rewards for the people who enter into the paradise is not the luxury of the paradise. In fact, would be meeting and seeing our Creator itself. And that imagination, for some, is more than enough. That I want to know who created me, and if I get this reward only by going into, I would do it. Similarly, the worst of the torment for the people who will go to the hellfire is not that they're being put in the hellfire, is but they will never get to see their Creator. So that's one thing. Second, I want you to look at the general principle. That, as I said, in the beginning, the Quran is the book of guidance, and it's not a book of science, but it gives you logical examples that will stay with us until the end of times. Something that we all see in different professions that we are in, or around us in our life as well. So, the very simple, like old-fashioned example that have you ever seen, a car going balanced if it just has tire on one side and not the other? No, it wouldn't. So their balancing requires both sides to be equal. Um, a better example is when you are rowing. If you just had one hand, which is I think it's called the oar, the chapu. If you're just using one hand to row, where would you go? If anybody has done rowing, they will know that they will actually keep on circling around in the center. For you to even go straight, you need to have both uh, oars to actually keep you straight in the middle. And that's the exact same thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, that we should be hopeful for the mercy of Allah to go to Jannah, but we should be afraid of being unsuccessful in going to Jahannam. That is the Iman, the hope for the best and the fear of the worst to keep us in the path. Also, we sometimes think that how is it mercy? Like, how is Allah going to put people into the hellfire? Imagine this thing. For us, that hasn't happened. The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that Allah is not only just created us, but then He has, with His mercy, sent us the guidance to. He has not only just sent the prophets for the guidance, He has in fact informed us before this happens that, oh, if you are going to do this, then you're going to be punished for this. Your actions are what's going to result you in going this. And in fact, it is the mercy of Allah that whatever good we do is never worth enough to get even the lowest level of paradise. That with our good deeds, but with the mercy of Allah, that Allah will in fact give us the paradise, and as I said, the best of the reward for us to be able to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine this thing, like, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not your teacher, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not your dad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not your any um person of authority. If you would have created, let us live without any guidance and just let us decide on our own to find him and find the truth, and at the end would have just decided that these people have failed and these few people have passed, would we be able to question? No, we wouldn't be. I have been into schooling and education so long that I can tell you that I've been to classes where we had teachers who never came to the class, never taught us, never gave us that kind of curriculum, never told us what is going to be in the exams, and we were just thrown into the exams. Like, some of us, like, still work hard, like, got the books, things like, previous test papers or so to be able to know what is going to happen, and then we pass. But the rest of them, like, more of the people always say, "Oh, my teacher was so bad, that's why I failed." It's so common. I'm pretty sure you must have said sometimes, or you must know people have said this thing. But could we do anything about that teacher? No. And the teacher had no authority as the Allah has the authority over us. So if Allah would have done this, would we be able to question it? No, we wouldn't be able to. So this is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He has given you already the um, the guideline for to go through this test. So I hope that this helps, and that's basically it. Assalamu alaikum.